Hello, my loves. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to this week's Wednesday Off the Mat. So this week we're going to talk about chakras. So what the heck is a chakra? Pretty popular buzzword these days, right? Lots of talk about it. Maybe you've seen images of the 7 chakras, color dots maybe running down a body. My logo has the chakras in them. Seen things that look like this, right? All of the colors, all of the different symbols. So, maybe you've seen it around. Maybe you've heard things like balancing your chakras, right? These are kind of like buzzwords that we hear about in the spirituality and holistic kind of realm. So maybe not a new word, but maybe you've never really done any more research into it, right? I know with Reiki we talk about chakras, and people are like, I just want to come balance my chakras, like it's a to-do list, and then you're done, right? Like we flip the switch, we balance, now we're good. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. Like everything else, it's kind of a process, and we're kind of always ebbing and flowing in and out of balance. And it's all about learning to figure out and learning to listen to our body, so we know when we're in and when we're out, and when we can come back. So a chakra, in a really, really simple way, is an energy center. In Sanskrit, chakra translates to wheel. So a lot of time you'll see it depicted as a circle. The word literally translates to wheel. So a chakra is an energy center in the body, and there are a lot of them. What the main system it functions really with is the seven main chakras. And that's where you'll see those 7 colors, those 7 discs all the time running from the crown to the root. It's just like by your butt. That's where it is. So these energy centers are connected to different systems in the energy field of the body, in the energetic body, right? So we have these different, I'm going to try to keep this in a way that everybody can follow and very easy. So we have different body systems. We have the physical body that like we can touch, right? And then a lot of times we'll talk about things like auras. We also have bodies that kind of exist outside the physical body, and those energetic bodies. So the chakras connect to these energetic bodies, which impact our emotional and physical well-being and happiness. And then they also connect to physical places within the body. They connect to nerve systems, they connect to major organs, so they affect different systems of the body. So when we talk about balancing our chakras, when our chakras are unbalanced, they cause different dis-ease in the body, right? And when we talk about disease holistically, we're not saying the word as one disease. We're breaking it down always as 2, dis-ease in the body. So unbalanced chakras are going to lead to that dis-ease in the body, which we don't want, right? It's going to cause different problems. It's going to manifest in different ways, from that emotional, energetic body, the more subtle, to the more physical and physical ailments with the body, things like pain and other manifestations and illnesses that we might face. So it's important to keep that balance. But like I said before, it's not a switch we flip on and off. Okay, my chakras are balanced, I'm done. Like, what's next on my to-do list today? It's this ever fluctuating ebb and flow, and life is constantly pushing and pulling us out of balance in every way, right? Whether you want to talk about it as far as energy and chakras are concerned, or you just want to talk about like whether or not you feel balanced and good, or if you feel as though you're in a state of dis-ease, right? These are things that we can all relate to, whether we know anything about chakras or energy, or you think I'm talking about some crazy woo-woo nonsense, right? So we want to feel good, we want to feel balanced, but we constantly have to work at that. So that's a little bit, very quick, where are we at? Less than 5 minutes about our chakra systems and some systems in the body, and everything's connected, right? So if something is happening And that's when we get into practices like Reiki and practices that work with energy. When we get into chakra systems and yoga and spirituality, and we start talking about a lot of these things, we realize and acknowledge that everything is connected. So we kind of take the approach that things start really subtly out here in the aura and the energy, and then when we're not listening, they kind of penetrate in a layer, and they get a little closer, right? Now they're manifesting a little bit deeper. So maybe you just have like some stress, right? And it's kind of swimming out here in that really subtle emotional world. But you don't really deal with it. You kind of acknowledge it and you just keep going. There's more stress and more stress. This is something we can all definitely relate to. As it gets bigger and we're not dealing with it, it's getting closer. Maybe now you get a headache, right? So now we're getting that physical manifestation of something that was more subtle that we didn't deal with. So it's becoming more and more real. And then if you don't deal with it, you know, maybe you find that stress and that headache is now causing you to clench your teeth. So now you're clenching your teeth. Now you're grinding your teeth at night. So now that stress, right, that emotional thing that's happening in your life now has you at a trip to the dentist because you're grinding your teeth at night. So these are how it's all connected. So when we learn to listen and when we can get in tune with ourselves and with these systems, we can use them as tools to help us come back into that balance. So that's really what our chakra system is. And when we talk about balancing and unbalancing, it's not a fix it, it's not a to-do, it's a tool to help us in our all over wellness. So it's not just like one thing, right? It's not, I balanced my chakras, I'm done. It's a tool in our toolbox to help us holistically, right? All around with our wellness. So that being said, let's dive into the heart chakra. So this month is all about love. It's February. That's what we've been chatting it up about. So I thought, what better time? Let's dive in. We'll chat about the heart chakra a little bit. So heart chakra is green. I know we want to think it's pink, and there's some pink things about the heart chakra, but it is green. So we're going to light a green candle while we chat for our heart chakra. And just kind of let that burn with us while we're sitting here chatting. So like that pink comes in with something like rose quartz, right? That's a heart chakra gemstone. You saw those in our February boxes, right? So that's a little bit of pink, but typically the chakra is represented by green. And when you see it on that line of chakras up and down the body, and I have kind of here's a good picture. Right? So this is often how we see it, line of chakras going up and down the body. So heart chakra is our fourth chakra. It's that green one, right? At the center of the chest. That's an easy one to find. Because when we identify it as heart chakra, not with its Sanskrit name, it's pretty self-explanatory where we're looking for that. It's right at the center of the chest. And they kind of say, so like the heart chakra is kind of where things start to get more subtle and more spiritual. So our lower chakras really deal with the more physical world and our physical needs in the world. Root chakra is all about safety and security, right? It's our foundation, it's our footing. And we kind of build from there. So each one kind of builds upon the next. And that heart chakra is where we really unlock and open stuff up so that we can access all these upper chakras. So that we can get that spirituality, that lightness that comes with the crown chakra and the third eye. So let's just talk about, I want to keep it easy, fun stuff for you. What are some things that are associated with the heart chakra? So we said it's green, right? The Sanskrit term is actually anahata. Hopefully I didn't butcher that too bad. That's why I call it heart chakra, right? It's the fourth chakra in the body. So we count up from the bottom. So root chakra is number 1. Crown is 7. So our heart chakra is number 4, right there in the middle. The element for the heart chakra is air. So pranayama is really associated, or breath work is associated with the heart chakra. So a great practice that's really easy, you don't need to really know or remember anything, is just deep yogic breathing. So sitting in a comfortable seat where you have a tall spine and you can fully take an inhale and an exhale. No special postures, right? Just upright in a way that you can get a full breath. And it's just that deep belly breathing. So inhaling, filling the lower belly with air, and filling the mid belly with air, breathing all the way up into the shoulders, right? Our ribs come all the way up underneath our shoulder blades. So we want to breathe all the way up into them. That's how high we can fill our lungs. So just that deep yogic breathing, if you're feeling that out of balance with the heart chakra, can help us come back. Some really easy yoga poses are like our Sphinx or Cobra down on the ground, that easy back bend, or just standing up and taking a gentle back bend, right? It can be the same thing. It's that heart opening. It's lifting the chest and the heart to the sky. There's a lot of other ones, but those are two easy ones, right? No, you don't even need to be a yogi to just stand up and let your heart reach up to the sky, head drop back. The sense for the heart chakra is touch. So it's that tactile, everything that we can feel, right? What else did I want to talk about? Oh, so some ways to know. So I just gave you a couple tools, right? Those two yoga poses, or that really easy, just deep breathing. You don't need to know any special breath work. Are some practices that we can look at when we're balanced or when we're not balanced. So what are some really easy ways to know? So there's a lot. When we get into this stuff, it can get really deep, it can get really heady, and you can go as far or as not far as you want with this stuff. So there's lists a mile long of characteristics that are associated with this, but I picked 3 terms for balance and 3 terms for unbalance that I thought were really easy to understand. So when we're not balanced in our heart chakra, we might notice things like self-pity is a theme in our life, or paranoia. We're constantly like worried and not feeling okay. And insomnia might be a big one. So if those are kind of like themes, stuff you really kind of always notice, maybe you're feeling a little unbalanced in that space. And some ways we might feel when we're feeling really balanced and we're feeling really good, right? The meaning here of the heart chakra is I love. So when we're in that space of I love, we are not just giving, but we're open to receiving. So it's that exchange, right? A balanced chakra is a little bit on and a little bit off. We need both. So it's being open to giving and receiving love. So when we're feeling in balance, we're going to feel things like compassionate. We're going to feel things like empathy. We're going to feel things like trust, right? The opposite of that, paranoia. So these are just some quick little things, a little overview of chakras and a little dive into the heart chakra. Just some quick, easy stuff, a nice little breathwork practice. Remember that Sphinx or Cobra are your yoga poses, or just the standing back bend. Let me see if I can get in the video here for you guys. So just standing nice and tall, feet about hips distance apart. Again, I want to make this accessible. Don't worry so much about your posture, but we always want to start from an even place, right? So nice tall spine. Just take an inhale, lift the arms up overhead, and on your exhale, you're going to let the head drop back, lifting the chest to the sky. So that's how we're going to get that nice back bend and that open heart. Arms reach back and gaze comes towards the ceiling. When you're ready to come up, bring the arms down. Maybe you come to prayer right at that heart center to close. And just take one last breath. And you can practice that a few times, holding for a few seconds each. It's just a nice practice. Maybe pair it with that breath practice that we talked about, just that deep, even breath. I'm going to end it here, you guys. Have a beautiful Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your week. And I will see you all next Wednesday for more Wellness Off the Mat. Bye.